And so we talked about the idea of us first initially fixing ourselves and then fixing those around us. And that essentially is one of the main components towards the arrival of our Imam, that if we are wishing for him to come, then he needs individuals who are strong in their Iman. And if the fitna and the test of this era that we live in is asking us to break that bubble, we can't do it. All I know is the bubble I've created for myself.
وما هذه الحياة الدنيا إلا لهو ولعب وإن الدار الآخرة لهي الحيوان لو كانوا يعلمون.
There were people who gave bay'at to Ali and Ghadir and were responsible for shedding his blood in Kufa.
أف لكم لقد سعمت عتابكم أرضيتم بالحياة الدنيا من الآخرة عوضا.
There are people who knew full well who Hussein ibn Ali was, reminded them time and time again. They'd respond saying, of course we know who you are. You are the beloved grandson of our holy prophet. And yet they behead the man. Many individuals in history are like that. A man approaches our seventh Imam, Imam Qadim alayhi salatu wassalam, and he begins to complain to our Imam about his situation. His lack of money, the stress he has no job, he has to feed his family. He begins to complain to the Imam, and the Imam listens. The Imam, after he's done, prays for this man, but the man continues to complain about his state. When he was done for a second time, the Imam says something very beautiful. He says, you know what the problem is with you? You are seeking the impossible. You're searching for ultimate happiness in this world. And that's your downfall. And sometimes you and I fall to that exact same trap. Does not exist in this world. It can't exist in this world. We get stuck and we get trapped and we get distracted and pulled in by the false idols of this dunya.
يعلمون ظاهرا من الحياة الدنيا وهم عن الآخرة هم غافلون.
And sometimes we actually convince ourselves that person A, family B over there, they're happy. I'm sure they're happy. They're happy for this reason. And the reason why we believe they're happy is the primary reason why they're miserable sometimes. Because when you search deep inside of a family, an individual that might on the outside look like they have everything, you'll know that they're equally as miserable in this dunya as you are. They're equally going through that test as you are. This world wasn't meant to give us contentment. This is not where you find this. The result of the test of this world is serenity in the hereafter. Wait for that over there. Work for that over here. Don't look for it here, work for it here. And you'll end up giving it or getting it in the hereafter. Sometimes we are wowed and distracted by this dunya until someone should come and say, look, you're not here to be wowed by the dunya. You're here to write the exam, write your test and move on. If you pass the test with flying colors, there are 1,000 auditoriums on that side waiting for you to be wowed by.
من كان يريد حرث الآخرة نزد له في حرثه ومن كان يريد حرث الدنيا نؤتيه منها وما له في الآخرة من نصيب.
The trap of the dunya, we have to be very, very careful about. And yes, I need some more time to elaborate on what the dunya is, what the akhirah is. Many of us believe it's a physical world. It's not. Alama Majlisi rahmatullah alayh, Imam Khomeini rahmatullah alayh, both of them, in Imam Khomeini's 40 hadith, talks about this idea, I believe in hadith number 13. He says, the essence of the dunya and the akhirah are not physical worlds. Rather, they are states of existences. Meaning that those collective components that pull you away from the dhikr of Allah is called the dunya. and those collective ideologies that pull you towards Allah is the akhirah.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تلهيكم أموالكم ولا أولادكم عن ذكر الله ومن يفعل ذلك فأولئك هم الخاسرون.
That's why where Islam draws the line is not for you to have a nice house or a nice car. Where Islam draws the line is zuhud, is detachment from the world. That you might work hard to become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, an accountant, an entrepreneur. I'm not asking anybody here to live in a shack of a house and drive a clunker of a car, no. This dunya is yours. Allah created this dunya for you, and He created you for Him. But where Allah and where the Ahlul Bayt draw that red, solid, dark line is zuhud. Don't attach yourself to these things. Don't place a price on them higher than their actual value.
وأنفقوا مما رزقناكم من قبل أن يأتي أحدكم الموت فيقول رب لولا أخرتني إلى أجل قريب فأصدق وأكن من الصالحين ولن يؤخر الله نفسا إذا جاء أجلها والله خبير بما تعملون.
That's why Imam says if you're going to sell your soul out in this world, it better be for something that's higher than Jannah in price. Because that's where you should be headed, is towards heaven in the hereafter. If you find anything in this world better than Jannah, an everlasting abode of peace, then sell your soul out, no problem. If you don't find anything, don't sell your soul. Why can't we break our bubble sometimes? This dunya has us in its clutches. Be careful, this trap is vicious. I talked about the fact that the people of Kufa during the time of Amir al-Mu'mineen was all he had. 12,000 people came from Kufa to Basra to defend Amir al-Mu'mineen in the war of Jamal. But then we have those same individuals from Kufa during the time of Imam Hussein. I mentioned to you 12,000 letters across 15 days. Letters were written. This revolution was stirring in Kufa. It's enough to know they were not calling Imam Hussein to be their wali and imam. They were calling Imam Hussein to once again restore the greatness of the Kufans in Kufa. That's why Imam Hussein says these people are the slaves of the dunya, the abid of the dunya. That's all they are. So the idea of the trap of the dunya, we have to be very, very careful.
يأتي على الناس زمان بطونهم آلهتهم ونساؤهم قبلتهم ودنانيرهم دينهم لا يبقى من الإيمان إلا اسمه.
In that trap, like I said, I'm not asking anybody here to not be successful. Be successful. Don't attach yourself to that success. Don't sell your soul out for that success. Don't cut off ties with your family for that success. Don't change your principles for that success. You guys are young, vibrant, passionate, intelligent, smart, educational, pious individuals. And people like you, Shaitan creates plans and creates movements against. He doesn't like people like you and will throw everything at you to pull you off the path. And the one thing that is the most attractive to the youth nowadays is the dunya. Identify your dunya and try to avoid it.
إن الذين يتلون كتاب الله وأقاموا الصلاة وأنفقوا مما رزقناهم سرا وعلانية يرجون تجارة لن تبور.